I'm not going to be specific as to
because you don't know it. That's why. All right. Done. One.
Well, here's another guy that the machine has tried to destroy repeatedly, Tucker Carlson. This is him calling out Schiff 6 years ago, 2017. Watch this. This is fun.
You're on the Intel Committee. Let me just ask you one final question. Can you look right into the camera and say, I know for a fact the government of Vladimir Putin was behind the hacks of John Podesta's email?
Absolutely. The government of Vladimir Putin was behind the hacks of our institution and the dumping of information.
Of John Podesta's email.
Not only in the United States, but also in Europe.
Okay, you're not, you know what, you're dodging.
And Tucker,
no, look and say, I know they did. John Podesta's emails, they hacked those.
And I think that Ronald Reagan will be rolling over his grave at your carrying water for the Kremlin.
I'm not carrying water for the, you're a sitting member of Congress on the Intel Committee, and you can't say they hacked.
You're gonna have to move your show to RT Russian television, because
you know what?
This
That's
is perfect.
Just so beneath your office because it's so dumb and you're being duplicitous. I'm asking you, did they hack Podesta's emails? And you can't say it.
Like that, Tucker.
You just said I was carrying. You said I was carrying water for Putin. That's pretty hilarious.
You know, when you essentially are an apologist for the Kremlin, that's what you're doing.
I'm going to one last time, Congressman. Look into the camera and say they hacked John Podesta's emails. We know for a fact that Putin's government did that. You can't, and you know you can't, and you're hiding behind weasel words.
I just said that
say they hacked John Podesta's emails.
Russians. I'm not going to be specific as to
because you don't know it. That's why. All right, done. One. You don't know it, and you're alleging it
Tucker,
without any evidence, and it's wrong.
You're ignoring the evidence because you don't care. The fact that it helped the Republican candidate is all you need to know, apparently.
That's totally false. I just think if you're going to make a serious allegation about an actual country with an actual government, you ought to know what you're talking about, and you don't.
Isn't that interesting how the story changes, but the tactics remain the same? That's Schiff back in 2017 saying that Tucker was carrying water for the Russians. Now flash forward to 2023 when Tucker is basically the loudest anti-war person that we have. Now, you may disagree with that, right? You may think that we should allow Ukraine to join NATO, and you may think that we should have this giant alliance and we have to turn back Putin and we should risk World War III. I suppose people can make arguments about all of those things. But what do they say about the guy Tucker? Now, it's the same exact thing. You're a Putin apologist. You're carrying water for the Russians. When he's basically saying, how about we just don't march towards World War III? So it's not just about mainstream bias towards certain people. It's about the machine and how it wants to constantly control the narrative. So you are completely confused about everything all the time. And then you stop trusting the people who are approximately trying to tell you something true. And then still they put up a guy like Schiff and somebody watches it and go, my God, that Schiff's making sense.